When it comes to gym leaders, some of the most memorable are the first ones you fight on your Pokemon journey. Who could forget their first battle with Brock, the Rock Gym Leader, or Roxanne, the Rock Gym Leader, or Rourke, the Rock Gym Leader? I'm sensing a theme here. It seems like Game Freak thinks that Rock is a weak type that even complete noobs can beat, but I think Rock-type Pokemon are misunderstood. That's why I'm on a mission to become the best trainer in Paldea using only Rock-type Pokemon. And to do this, I've given myself 3 goals. Goal number 1, to build a team of geological misfits and chisel them into becoming stone-cold killers. Goal number 2, take on the strongest trainers in the region and become the champion for all the underappreciated rock types who were told they wouldn't amount to nothing. And goal number 3, make as many rock puns as I can in the process. Start the counter! Without further ado, let's rock and roll. We'll skip the tutorial and venture out into the wild green yonder so we can ditch our starter and the challenge can begin. Right away, I capture a Bonsly with the ability Sturdy, which means he cannot get KO'd in one hit. This may come in handy later in the run. I named him Basanite, which is a dark volcanic rock that forms underground when under extreme pressure. Kind of fitting for a long, hard challenge such as this. Since both are small, tough, and emotionally repressed, this seemed like a good fit for Bonsly. And with our starter in the box, we can begin the run with a clean slate. Right off the bat, we get some intel from Arven about the Stony Cliff Titan. As a Pokemon geologist, I liked the sound of that. We immediately head out to that location as one could only imagine there will be rock-type Pokemon aplenty. And if you couldn't tell, I quite like rocks nowadays. Right away, I ran into a Nacli, which has the ability Purifying Salt. It reduces the damage taken by ghost types and more importantly, nullifies status conditions entirely. I named him after Gabbro because much like the actual Gabbro, he's dense, unbothered, and will likely be holding the team together. The emotional bedrock that Bonsly desperately needs. Oh boy. We get off to a bit of a rocky start as the team gets wiped out by a Klawf. After a bit more grinding, I set out to not only settle the score with Klawf, but to harness his power for my own. I can't be mad. Game recognizes game. Plus, he's got the ability Anger Shell, which boosts his attack, special attack, and speed after he falls below half health. So, gimme. I finally capture him and name him after Comatite, a volcanic rock that only shows its full potential when pushed to the boiling point. Very fitting. With the foundation of the team starting to take shape, I head forth past the strobe light trees toward Cortando where our first gym challenge awaits. Ah yes, the sugar bug herself. Katie, sweet lady. She means well, truly. Unfortunately, she chose the wrong day to be a bug-type trainer as Basanite absolutely squishes her bugs with rock slides. Then we send Klawf out to deliver the finishing blow against her sweet little bear, just to add insult to injury. See, Katie's team is less of a test of strength than it is a reminder that sometimes you need to kill a bug with a boulder. Not because you need a boulder to kill a bug, but rather to send a message to the other bugs. You have been warned. Moving right along, we snag our first gym badge and begin to prepare for our next challenge, the Titan Klawf. Knowing our history with Klawfs, we'll need to prepare ourselves. I don't really have any moves that are super effective against rock types, so we need the TM for Brick Break. Luckily for us, the TM is just on the complete other side of the map! So we'll have to use the quickest mode of transportation out there. Montage! And we're here! Easy! Unfortunately, Basanite fainted along the way after getting into a fight with his big brother. But I quickly wake him up and teach him to wield the power of punching things despite not having arms. Cause that's how our rock-type team rolls. Finally, it's time for Basanite to get his redemption as he braves the Titan Klawf, and my god, he's massive. No pressure, little buddy. Basanite fares decently well, tossing out a couple brick breaks and oh, wait! No! With his attack power raised, he ditches the battle, I guess to spare Basanite's life? Wow, even after all we did, he took the high ground and... never mind. With the help of Arven and his Shelter, we managed to take the thing down, but some mental scars never heal. Oh, hey, a cave! I love caves. We settle down with Arven for a quick snack break as all this traveling and collecting rock Pokemon really works up an appetite. With our bellies full and our Bonsly freshly traumatized, it's time to start planning a strategy for the next gym. Brassies uses grass-type Pokemon, so we are at a huge disadvantage here. Luckily, Comatite can learn X-Scissor, which should help to get the job done. We just gotta find the TM, which is... There! I slap the new move on my crab, and I head to Artisan to confront Brassius. Cometite deals a solid hit to his Petlil, but it wasn't enough, and she lands a sleep powder on us. After eating a couple Mega Drains, Cometite goes down, and our team ends up getting bodied shortly after. It took a bunch of tries, ending with us getting completely rocked by Brassius and his Sudowoodo until Bassanite said, "You know what? Two can play at that game," and decides to evolve into a handsome young Sudowoodo himself. So we kick in the open door to the gym and challenge Brassius to one final rematch. This time, it's all or nothing. Cometite jumps out and makes quick work of Petlil and Smoliv. He even does a surprising amount of damage on Sudowoodo before going down to a Trailblaze. We send in Bassanite for some Sudowoodo on Sudowoodo violence, but our Brick Break kinda underperforms. Dang, we did a whole road trip and everything, man. Bassanite faints and our only option left is Gabbro, who was able to tank a couple of hits and, much like erosion over millions of years, slowly chip away at Brassius' will to live. Well done, little buddy. With our team pounded into gravel, Brassius is finally defeated and we earn our second gym badge. I think it's finally time we add a new member to the squad. I captured a Rockruff and named it Rhyolite, which is a stone that supposedly represents resolution, acceptance, change, and progress. It's also prone to exploding, which is way cooler. Next on the agenda, we're due for an encounter with the Open Sky Titan, Bombardier. Trying to drop rocks on folks is dangerous. Have you not been paying attention to what we've been doing this entire time? Man, anyway, given that we're a team of rock types, this battle with the big bird was a breeze. The real challenge coming up is our next gym battle, which will be against Iono's electric types. We'll need to do a lot more training before we're ready, but I picked up the Dig TM and taught it to Cometite just in case. That's a surprise tool that can help us later. In the meantime, I storm the Team Star Capital and chuck rocks at every Murkrow in sight. This understandably upsets the leader Hakamo as we get challenged to a battle. Not gonna lie, I'm a little scared of this fight. You could even say I'm quaking in my boots. Huh? His Pawniard is certainly something to watch out for with that steel typing, but Cometite is able to bury himself underground and avoid those metal claws. Next up is the second Starmobile, and well, if you can't beat him with rock, beat him with scissors. Okay, so he takes us down pretty quickly, but I just had to use that line. After Hakamo hits our dog with his car, I am no longer playing games. Bassanite hops in to Brick Break him back to the Stone Age, and we walk away victorious. After some more shenanigans in the wild grass, Gabbro evolves into Knucklestack, and this is what I meant when I say rock types are underrated. Knucklestack learns the move Salt Cure. Basically, this move chips away 1/8 of your opponent's HP per turn once it's activated and does significantly more to steel and water types. It's a perfect way to get some much needed coverage on the team. And much like the tectonic plates, it's a strategy that is slow, inevitable, and will eventually lead to disaster. Plus, look at him. He looks like a Minecraft, which is funny. In fact, there. I'm sure this is still relevant, right? Anyway, Nimona challenges us to a battle and we practically sweep her entire team with Cometite alone. So I'm thinking it's time we take on the gym. And take on the gym we do! Iono's Wattrel goes down no problem after a fully loaded Rock Blast thanks to the loaded dice I gave to Cometite before the battle. Next up is her Bellybolt, who eats a dig better than I expected. But I managed to take it down with a couple more Rock Blasts. Luxio goes down to a couple digs as well, and I'm starting to get cocky. A little too cocky as I go for a dig against Miss Magus, forgetting that it has Levitate. That ends up coming back to bite me as Cometite gets KO'd. I send in Jack Black to land a Salt Cure just before he gets taken down as well. Rhyolite tags in next and goes for a bite, but he's just a little baby and he gets absolutely eviscerated by Hex. I'm low on options, so I send out Bassanite to see how much a Wood Hammer would do, and she confuses us. But our boy comes in clutch and snaps out of confusion, flattens Miss Magus, and lives to tell the tale with just 1 HP. A salute to you, my fine friend. Oh, what's that, Bassanite? Oh, you want everyone watching to go like the video and subscribe to the channel? Oh, great idea. Well, you heard him. And he did almost die for our sins here, so, you know, better do what he says. And just like that, the third gym badge is ours. If you'll excuse me, I think I need to go throw up after that battle. Okay, I'm back, and hey, while I was gone, Rhyolite evolved into Lycanroc and learned the move Counter. things are looking good for the Rock Squad. Oh, by the way, we're called the Rock Squad now, and you'll just have to deal with it. Next order of business, we do a little surfing around and catch ourselves a Dreadnaw and name her Diabase because she's mad durable. The team is really shaping up, but just to round things out, I caught a Rolycoly with the ability Heatproof. I named her Carnakite and evolved her right away into this little minecart looking fella. This is an absolute necessity for any team that includes Jack Black. The battle against Mellow was easy since we laugh in the face of fire, and Titan Earthworm gets melted away by Carnakite. At this point, I realized that since I'm playing Pokemon Violet and not Scarlet, two of the rock types I really wanted to use are not available, so I traded in some guys from my other game. It's legit, okay? Show me the rule where I can't do that. Oh wait, I made the rules. Plus, look it, I got a Stonjourner named Shockanite and a Larvitar named Tefrite. You got a problem with Larvitar? Exactly. Anywho, next I went spelunking as all good Pokemon geologists do when I found a Glimmet. I caught the thing and I swear, I'm done catching more Pokemon. I just didn't realize how many good ones there are before starting and I want to catch them all. Sue me. But I can manage 9 Pokemon, I swear there's plenty of love to go around. His name is Granite, and I love him. Alright, back to business. We got another gym to fight. Next up is Kofu, and he's a water-type gym leader, and I'm a little nervous about this one. I've got to assemble the right team. Let's see here. Diabase is a water type, so he can come. Bassinite knows Woodhammer, which we'll definitely be needing. And I believe Jack Black knows a thing or two about water buckets, so we'll bring him too. Okay, with the team prepped and ready, we're ready to rock. I march right up to Kofu, Pokeballs in hand, and say, "Hey, Kofu! Yo mama!" and start hurling rocks at him. Well, that was embarrassing. Hey, Mr. Kofu, I'm real sorry about what I said before. Can I please have a rematch? Okay, this time it's on for real. So I gave Diabase the metronome, which increases the damage of attacks the more you use them consecutively. The plan is to spam Crunch as much as I can because we also have the ability Strong Jaw, which boosts the power of biting moves. Veluza becomes the first Luza on Kofu's team by allowing us to get 2 crunches in, and from this moment on, we literally eat through his Pokemon like they're chicken nuggies and it's 3 a.m. We snatch the gym badge out of Kofu's surprisingly moist hands, and it's time to reunite the Rock Squad. Larvitar evolves into Pupitar, which is perfect because he learns the move Stomping Tantrum, a super powerful ground-type move. And you know what we do with ground-type moves? Oh, Atticus! Boom, 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 bye-bye! With Atticus defeated, I then set my sights on the next challenge. The storm that topples empires, the echo of the void. Born in chaos, forged in darkness, feared by gods and men alike. Larry from accounting. My strategy to shatter the will of this man is to prioritize Shockanite with the move Body Press. This move calculates the damage output based on the defense of the Pokemon that uses it. One of the benefits of being a big rocky boy like Stonjourner, you're pretty much an immovable object defensively. So the plan is simple. I stacked layer after layer of iron defenses onto Shockanite, rendering him practically untouchable, like a geological monument of sorts. Then once he's become less of a Pokemon and more of a national landmark, I let gravity do the rest as we rain down an avalanche of body presses onto his team. Larry then attracts a crowd of fans to cheer him on, but he's powerless to our strategy of getting really heavy, then falling on things. Another easy, yet time-consuming victory for us. We do get humbled pretty quickly by Nemona's Meowscarada shortly after. I realize that our strategy only works on physical attackers, and our rock types tend to have lower special defense, so don't try this against special attackers, kids. So next up is our fight against Rhyme, the ghost-type gym leader. For this, we'll need to travel all the way to the snowy town of Montenevera. And so we trudge forward and brave the icy summits, all for the purpose of arriving in style. Observe. Charge! Oh, wait, where is everybody? Right, I guess we gotta actually challenge the gym first. Before we take on the gym, I evolve Jack Black into Garganacl, get the team all leveled up, and march right up to Rhyme to see if we can stonewall her team. As I mentioned before, Rhyme uses ghost types, so the plan is to utilize Diabase's Crunch, which is already super effective and powered up by the Strong Jaw ability. However, this one is a double battle, so I decided to leave no stone unturned and brought in Shockanite for support. Since he has the ability Power Spot, which boosts the attack power of your ally Pokemon, we're doing literally everything we can to maximize efficiency here. As expected, Rhyme is defeated pretty easily, and we net ourselves badge number 6. As a result, I let Diabase and Stonjourner blow off some steam by beating up Titan Iron Treads, and we continue our reign of terror across the region. Nemona tries to stop us, but Jack Black and Comatite make an example of her, and we move on. Next up is Tulip's gym. She uses Psychic types, and while I could easily just redo the old crunch time strategy I just demonstrated on Rhyme, I felt like I wanted to shake things up a bit. I decided to give Swords Dance to Comatite so that our X-Scissor is nice and sharp. Her Farigiraf even has the audacity to land a critical hit on Comatite. Oh, now you've made him angry. Comatite unleashes his fury and snips through her entire team like paper. And who says the mind is the most powerful weapon? Now give me that badge! We're just plowing through this run at this point. The next gym leader is Grusha, the ice type user, and even though our entire team would be fine given that ice is weak to rock, I evolved Charnikite as she'll be the one to lead the charge in this battle. Then I taught her Fire Blast just so I can really rub it in. I get humbled slightly when Charnikite gets snuffed by her Beartic, but we land a burn on our way out. Luckily, Comatite puts in some good work, and we let Jack Black finish the job. Yeah, this is awkward. So we were defeated. My bad. I tuck my tail between my legs and scurry off to the Pokemon Center to heal. While we may be at rock bottom, there is a rage building inside me to settle the score. I immediately march back over to Grusha, and this time I'm bringing Shankanite with me as a defensive wall that I can cower behind. Okay, time to panic. Jack Black lands a super effective Rock Slide, and now we're back in business. Until Beartic gets us with Earthquake. We finish him off with Comatite, who manages to wipe out her Titan as well. Last up is her Altaria, and we managed to kill one bird with multiple stones. Looks like we didn't even need Charnikite. Ain't that something? Regardless, we sent a crystal clear message to Grusha that we are not one to mess with. And now we've collected all the gym badges. See, now that I've beaten all 8 gyms as a rock trainer, I have proven my points to all the pathetic rock trainers before me, but I want more. You didn't think I was done, did you? I'm going for that champion title, baby! But as wonderful as the rock squad is, we're not quite ready yet. Next order of business is the fairy raid. Luckily, I have the perfect little darling for the job. I pulled Granite the Glimmet out of the PC and evolve him into Glimmora. You see, Glimmora would be the only Pokemon that we've got that would be ideal to use against fairy types, due to its poison typing. I train up Granite some more and we square off against Ortega. I begin by setting up Acid Armor to boost my defense before using Mortal Spin to poison the Azumarill. After being hit with a physical attack, Azumarill activates my trap card, which is the ability Toxic Debris, which essentially sets up toxic spikes for the remaining team members. Now that everyone's nice and poisoned, Venoshock is powered up and I can successfully sweep through Azumarill, Wigglytuff, and Darkspun. Well done, Glimmora. Sorry I took you for Granite. Well, I spoke too soon as Ortega's Starmobile steamrolls over Granite. How fitting. But Comatite and Jack Black finish things up for us and keep Team Star in their place. Next up, Bassanite sacrifices his life twice for us to beat Dondozo, the False Dragon Titan. Thank you for your service. In other news, Pupitar evolves into Tyranitar, and I'm as giddy as a schoolboy. Okay, now things get pretty interesting when I take on Team Star's Aerie. Problem is, Aerie's team hits stupid hard, and she uses fighting types. And in case you haven't been following, my team is just a bunch of rocks. They're going to get pulverized. We are in big trouble. So I started with Granite to use the same setup as I did against Ortega. That worked surprisingly well, even against her Toxicroak and Passimian. But then Annihilate comes in to raise hell with a close combat that has the potential to wipe our entire team. Granite goes down, so I send out Comatite to try stalling while we let the poison do its job. But alas, Comatite falls in battle and Jack Black comes out to finish the job after tanking a major final blow from Annihilate. Lucario comes out next, and I swear, the Rock-type Fossil God Lord Helix must have been watching over us as we tank an Aura Sphere with one single HP remaining. Jack Black manages to land Assault Cure on Lucario before going down. I send out Tephite in a desperate attempt to stall, and my guy manages to eat an Aura Sphere despite being 4 times weak to it. Then he's all, oh no you don't, and Hyper Beams Lucario down to 1 HP before Salt Cure finishes him off. But the fight isn't over yet. We still have the Starmobile to worry about. Tephite lands a valiant Hyper Beam, but it just isn't enough, and he is down for the count. Okay, our back is against the wall now, and it's time for a big brain move. I send out Bassanite, who knows the move Counter, which doubles the damage taken from a physical move as long as you survive the hit. Remember when I said the ability Sturdy would come in handy? I think you know where this is going. Bassanite blasts away over half of the opponent's HP in one hit before going down, which is a huge contribution in a tight battle like this. But now all we have left is Rhyolite. But here's the thing. Before the battle, I gave Rhyolite the Focus Sash, an item that essentially has the same effect as Sturdy when held by a Pokemon. Oh, and would you look at that? Rhyolite also knows Counter. Triple before me! Just like that, Airy and the rest of Team Star are defeated. And I gotta say, after that fight, I'm feeling pretty Dwayne. Get it? Because like Dwayne the Rock Johnson. You know what? I'm trying. Rock puns are hard. Oh. Hey, there you go. If we can get ourselves through a battle like that, we can get through just about anything. Bring on the Elite Four! All right, we're here. No turning back, no giving up. We're bolder than that. Before we head in, let's recap the team I'm bringing with me. We're going with Bassanite the Sudowoodo, Jack Black the Garganacl, Cometite the Klawf, Rhyolite the Lycanroc, Diabase the Dreadnaw, and Granite the Glamora. Let's rock and roll! First up is Rika, who specializes in ground types. Already, we're at a disadvantage, and to make matters worse, she sends out her Whiscash, which is part water type. There's not a whole lot Granite can do here, so we poison him with Mortal Spin and accept our fate. Bassanite comes out next to KO Whiscash with a 4 times effective Miracle Seed boosted Wood Hammer. It works, but the recoil takes him down to 12 HP, and Rika's Donphan finishes the job. I send out Dreadnaw to give him a bath, but we're taken down by his Dugtrio quickly after. Jack Black is able to subdue both the Dugtrio and Camerupt, and now all that's left is our ace Clodsire. Clodsire is really no joke as he nearly takes down Jack Black. Luckily, I've rigged him with explosives for this exact moment. Ready, Jack Black? Flint and Steel! And there we go. We had to play a little dirty, but Rika is out of the way. Moving on to Poppy, we find ourselves in another tricky situation, facing off against a Steel-type user. So we're clearly at a disadvantage here, but we've been down this kind of road before. Luckily, we're playing Gen 9, so we can switch out team members during the Elite Four. Whew. We won't be needing Granite or Cometite here, so I swapped them with Shunkanite and Charnikite to give us more of a fighting chance. Alright, Poppy, playtime is over. Up first is our Caporaja, so I send in Shunkanite to set up our Iron Defense strategy. After just one body press, we flatten an entire elephant, and now I no longer fear anything. The rest of the team is smooth sailing as we just kind of sit on her Pokemon until we win. Dang, that was way easier than I thought. Once again, we didn't even need Charnikite. You'll get your moment someday, maybe. Yes, Uag Moog is right, Poppy. Uag Moog indeed. All right, 2 down, 2 more to go. Just when I thought I was safe, he's back. I've slain titans, climbed mountains, defeated gods, and yet it wasn't enough. I am now faced with the return of an unyielding force. Hello there, it's me, Larry. Oh, fuck! Well, I've been trying my hand at flying type Pokemon this time. Wait, what? You're gonna use flying types? I'm sorry. You know what kind of challenge we're doing here, right? Okay. Bet. Let's do this. So I finally gave Charnikite her time to shine because Larry here is stupid enough to activate Sunny Day with his Grass-type Tropius against my Fire-type, and we quite literally just incinerate him and move on to the next bird. Staraptor comes out next, and I decide Charnikite has had enough time playing in the sun. Time to set up our tumbling wall of Shonkanite and secure another W for the Rock Squad. Oops. Okay, so we go down to his Altaria, and Charnikite gets to continue having her moment. I'm sorry I ever doubted you. Wait, no, I take that back. Bassanite comes out to deliver a powerful counter, taking Larry down once again. Okay, one more Elite Four left. The dragon guarding the final fortress of the Elite Test, Hassel. Okay, big fella, you're on. So Hassel gets his flying type out of the way by pitting us against his Noivern against Jack Black. Easy peasy. Now that Jack Black has served his purpose, I use Explosion on Hassel's Dragalge because honestly, not really in the mood to deal with it. Next, I send out Shonkanite to square up against Haxorus since he's a physical attacker and I am literally a wall of stone. Haxorus puts in a good effort, but at this point I've maxed out Shonkanite's defense as both Hassel's Haxorus and Flapple get crushed under the sheer mass that is Shonkanite. However, things come crumbling down when we catch a powerful Glaive Rush from Baxcalibur and Shonkanite is defeated. So to finish things off, I send Bassanite out to avenge the destruction of our team's Fortress of Defense. With a couple well-timed counterattacks, Bassanite defeats Baxcalibur and the mighty Hassel falls. While we may have just beaten the Elite Four, our work is far from over here as we prepare to face off against the champion Geeta. Okay, let's rock. Geeta starts out by sending out her Espathra and landing a super effective Dazzling Gleam on Tefrite. Luckily, we tank it pretty nice and retaliate with a super effective Crunch. But if only it were that easy. Geeta brings out her Avalugg next, so I switch to Charnikite. Avalugg tries to give us a taste of our own medicine with a Body Press, but he clearly doesn't understand our strategy, idiot. Whatever, a good old-fashioned Fire Blast will melt your Cybertruck-looking ass into a puddle. Next up is Geeta's Veluza, so we let Diabase come in to handle those Water-type attacks while crunching away at the little fishy. Sushi. Out next is her Go-Go, which terrifies me since it's a grass type and Dreadnaw is scared of grass. But he faces both his fears and his demise as we sacrifice him to get a clean switch back to Charnikite to unleash Hellfire onto the battlefield. See, I told you you'd get your moment. That is until Kingambit jumps out and bodies Charnikite faster than he can say, hey, let's talk about this first. Alright, since Kingambit insists on being a physical attacker, I see a perfect setup opportunity, so it's Shonkanite time. He tries to chisel away at us, but we're just too darn powerful and he dies a hero's death under the rubble. Finally, Geeta sends out her Glimmora. Oh, hey, we've got one of those too. Yeah, Glimmora is pretty sweet. Super high special attack and weight. Shonkanite, look out! Wow, that one hurt me way more than I expected. Now, it's personal. Bassanite, no mercy! Oh, okay, Tefrite, no mercy! And just like that, down goes Geeta and we've officially become the champion. Nobody in this entire region can match our powerful rock-type army and... Oh man, Daddy Q, I'm a champion and now you're a champion, which means we're true equals. You and me, both champion rank trainers. This is amazing! Oh, no. See, I'm not looking to be anyone's equal. I can't settle for just champion. That was never the goal. I need to become a god amongst men, and I'm sorry, but you're in my way. We duel at dawn! I dramatically descend from the rooftops and stare our final opponent in the eye. Civilians gather in anticipation. The stage is set. Let the battle of champions commence. Say your prayers, Nimona! Oh, no. Oh, this is bad. Stop! Oh, wow. Okay, that humbled me pretty quick. Perhaps there's a lesson in all this. Maybe being the best isn't the only way to prove my worth. I suppose part of being a champion isn't about how tall I stand above others, but how strong I stand with others. Turns out, chasing the crown of pure pride just left me with my hands too full to carry anything else. Personal growth, friendships, joy. I thought I needed to stand on a podium that nobody could ever reach, but in the end, I lost more than just the battle. I lost sight of why I did this run in the first place. To show rock-type Pokemon everywhere that you don't need to be the best to show that you are enough. And if that's enough for those whose dreams I had to trample along the way, then maybe it's enough for me. Nah! Just kidding. That last one didn't count. I'm going for round 2. All right, Nemona, this one's for all the marble. We start things off with the Lycanroc v Lycanroc showdown, where my plan is to get in as many sand attacks as possible. Now that her Lycanroc's accuracy is down, we can sacrifice Rhyolite and use this opportunity to set up the Great Wall of Shunkenite. After building up our defenses, our body press is strong enough to blow through Nemona's Lycanroc, Pawmot, and Orthworm. Her Goodra nearly takes us out with the Muddy Water, but Shunkenite comes in clutch and hangs on with 1 HP, which is enough to slay the mighty gooey beast, and then absolutely pulverize her Dudunsparce. Unfortunately, we're taken down again by our Meowscarada, the bane of my existence at this point. So it's time for Plan B, which stands for Bassonite, but because her Lycanroc set up Stealth Rocks on us early on, Bassonite takes damage when switched in, and his sturdy ability is no longer an option. So I move on to Plan C for Charnikite. We put in some good damage, but a well-executed Flower Trick sends us all the way down to Plan T for Tephite. Tephite, however, eats a Flower Trick from Meowscarada and holds nothing back as we go for a Giga Impact that puts Kitty to bed, and just like that, we've done it. We beat Nemona and can officially call ourselves the strongest trainers in Paldea. They once said rock types were too slow, too weak, too easy to beat with a glass of water, but here we are, the champion, standing tall alongside a team forged from the very foundation of the earth, chiseled into an unbreakable, immovable force. Let this be a reminder of the ancient power bestowed upon the rock type by Lord Helix himself, because when the fog of war fades, it's the fossils that remain. And to those of you who continue to live in disbelief, you can go kick rocks. Thank you so much for watching. Like the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed it. Till next time.